Hello, NBA fans. I'm Raghav, and this is the start of a new podcast called the NBA, The Week That Was. In this podcast, I will be talking about important games throughout the week and voicing my thoughts about them. I will also discuss other news such as injuries and team drama. Overall, you NBA enthusiasts shall gain a new perspective on the league each Sunday. Hopefully, you stick with me throughout the series, and this podcast will be part of your Sunday routine. Okay, now that the introduction aside, let's begin the first episode of the NBA, The Week That Was. Sunday's matchups featured some big-name teams including the Lakers, Raptors, and Trailblazers. First up, we'll be looking at the Lakers against the Magic. The Lake Show was coming into Staples Center, riding a 3-game win streak, only to be stopped by Nikola Vucevic and the Magic. The Magic won the game 108-104. Nikola was key in this victory. He put up a huge 31 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists on 10 of 20 shooting. The Lakers were led by, no surprise, LeBron James. He got 24 points and 7 assists with some help from young stud Kyle Kuzma, who put up a solid 21 points. However, the Lakers missed some shots in crunch time, of which the Magic took full advantage of. Looking at the Lakers, I believe they have the right players and system to take them deep in the playoffs. They just need confidence, especially sophomore point guard Lonzo Ball. I'll be looking at LeBron and Rondo, the mentors of the team, throughout the season to give Lonzo advice to truly unlock his potential. Next, let's take a look at the Raptors and Heat. The Raptors came out on top this game, 125-115. The Raptors looked to main man Kawhi Leonard, and he delivered. He scored 29 points along with 10 boards. However, the best performance of this game came from none other than the legend, D. Wade. He broke the franchise record for most points off the bench, scoring 35 points on 13 of 22 shooting. The veteran still knows how to ball out. So far this season, it looks like the Raptors are a certain lock for a top 3 seed in the East. But I'm interested to see how the Heat end up. Josh Richardson has stepped up, averaging 20.4 points a night, along with 3 assists and 3 boards per game. The Heat currently sit at the 11th seed with a 7-12 record, but I believe if Josh continues to lead this team, it has a good chance of making a push for the playoffs. For our last game of Sunday, let's look at the Sixers versus the Nets. What a game. Came right down to the wire. Sixers down 1 with 10 seconds to go. Who do they go to? Mr. Jimmy G Buckets. Stone cold step back right in Rondae Hollis Jefferson's face. Sixers took the game 127-125. The Nets put up a good fight on the back of D'Angelo Russell, who showed out with 38 points, 8 boards, and 8 assists. But the Sixers duo of Embiid and Butler was unstoppable. Joel had 32 points with 12 rebounds, and Jimmy had 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 dagger. I was skeptical of the Butler trade at first. Will the Sixers do well after losing 2 key great rotation players in Saric and Covington? Well, looks like they have. Philly is 5-2 since the trade, and Jimmy has led them on most of their victories. I think with Butler on the team, the Sixers have a strong chance of making the finals this season. And that wraps up Sunday's games. Monday's big games came at the hands of Kevin Durant and James Harden. One got the win, the other not so lucky. Let's see what the chef is up to. Another classic performance from the Beard himself, but it wasn't enough. The Wizards took the game in OT, 135-131. Harden now has the most 50-point, 10-assist games in NBA history, with 5 of them. On Monday night, he put up 54 points, 13 assists, and 8 rebounds, and Eric Gordon showed up as well, with 36 points and 8 threes. But on the other end, the great Wizard duo of Bradley Beal and John Wall pushed through in the end. Wall had 36 points and 11 assists, while Bradley Beal had 32 points and a great defensive performance on Harden in OT. These are the moments where D'Antoni and company miss Melo. His offense would have been valuable in this situation. It has been a torrid start for both these teams. The Rockets, who won 60 games last year, are now 9-10, and CP3 is out for some time. What's going to happen to this team? Comment down below where you predict the Rockets are going to end up this year. I still trust in the MVP, so I have them as a playoff team, but you never know. The Wizards, who are having multiple off-the-court issues with team chemistry, the front office's relationship with players, and of course the Dwight Howard controversy with the transgender accusing him of sexual assault. However, They're making a slow yet steady run into the top 8 of the East. They are now in the ninth seed with an 8-12 record. I also believe this team will make the playoffs. Our next game is the Warriors and Magic matchup. The Warriors took this one 116 to 110. Kevin Durant showed his true powers that night, scoring 49 points with 9 assists and 6 boards. On the other end, another big night from Nikola Vucevic, who had 30 points, 12 boards, and 6 assists. The Warriors have had some tough times with the drama between Kevin Durant and Draymond Green and Steph Curry's injury. But now it seems like things are getting better, and the Warriors are on a 3-game win streak, with Steph coming back really soon. I want to take a look at Nikola Vucevic of the Orlando Magic. He has been an underrated star this year. Multiple 30-point, 10-rebound games, he has led the Magic to the 8th seed in the East. With the Magic drafting 7-foot center Mo Bamba and Vucevic being a free agent this year, there's going to be a big decision at the hands of Nikola. Should he re-sign or join a team where he can be the starting big and he doesn't have that much competition at the 5? Let's see what happens. Let's also go on to Tuesday's games. Occasionally on this podcast, we'll be only looking at one game. Because Tuesday night didn't have that many games, we'll take a look at the Hawks and Heat matchup. The Hawks and Heat, who are Southeast Division rivals, had a very, very close game. The Hawks pulled away in the last seconds with a 115 to 113 victory. Josh Richardson had a wide open 3 to take the game, but he clanked it and the game ended. Trae Young, the polarizing rookie, also as a side note, my favorite player in the NBA, had 17 points and 10 assists on 42% shooting. Josh Richardson did have 22 points and 8 rebounds and 5 steals, but he missed the potential game winner. Trae Young, the nation leader in scoring and assists in college last year, has played quite well. He hasn't lived up to full expectations, especially on 3-point shooting and defense, but otherwise, his passing has certainly been there. He is averaging 15.6 points and 7.6 assists a game on 38% shooting. However, with 20 plus 10 assist games, he certainly has the potential to be a star in this league. I might be showing some bias here, but still, I believe he's going to be a great player down the road. Let's go on to Wednesday's games. Like Tuesday, not that many key matchups on Wednesday, so we're going to take a look at the Bucks and Bulls game for Wednesday night's match. The Bucks took this game 116 to 113 at the new Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. The Bucks were led by the young superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo, who had 36 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. The Bulls were headed by their star, Zach LaVine, who had 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. I really want to talk about the Greek Freak. This man has been on an absolute tear this season, averaging 28 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists in just 34 minutes. The craziest thing is that he's turning 24 in December. A man this young, putting up such astronomical numbers, who is also 6'11", should bring fear in the hearts of all NBA teams. He has worked on his game every year, making him a candidate for most improved player each and every year. I honestly feel he'll make a big run in the MVP race, especially with the way the Bucks are playing this year. The key to unlocking his true potential and the pure unstoppable force that he can become is becoming a consistent 3-point shooter. Defenses wouldn't know what to do. Should they step out on the perimeter to guard his shot, which would end up in him taking one dribble and dunking the ball home, or play closer to the rim and watch him switch a 3 through the net? Let's see where the new Superman, which he was indeed called by Shaq himself, takes his game, and if he becomes that pure dominant force in this league. Let's go to Thursday's games. Thursday had some good quality national TV games in the Warriors-Raptors overtime thriller and the Clippers-Kings game. The Warriors and Raptors matched up in a possible NBA Finals preview. The Raptors took the game in OT 131 to 128. It looked like the Raptors had the game sealed by going up 119 to 113 with 53 seconds left in the game off a Kyle Lowry 3. But you can never underestimate the greatest true scorer in the NBA, Mr. Kevin Durant. On the next possession, KD hit a monster 3 right in Kawhi Leonard's face to make it a one-possession game. However, that wasn't all. After a stop on defense, with 9 seconds left, KD hit a mind-boggling corner turnaround 3 in Kawhi's face again to tie the game. Unfortunately, his 51 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists weren't enough to carry the Dubs over the finish line. On the other side, former Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard had 37 points to lead the game. My ideal matchup in the Finals does not include the Raptors, but I would still be really excited to watch this game. My finals matchup that I want is the Bucks against the Warriors. However, going back to the Raptors, head coach Nick Nurse has really seemed to make it work with his new squad, leading them to a 19-4 record in the East as of December 2nd to hold the first seed. The team has an interesting style of play which is very entertaining to watch. Their starting lineup, Kawhi Leonard, Serge Ibaka, Pascal Siakam, Kyle Lowry, and Danny Green, all have the ability to switch on and guard up to two positions. If you exclude Serge, I believe all of them can guard at least three positions. That makes a very switchable defense. That defense is 9th in opponents' points per game, 5th in opposition field goal, and 6th in opposing three-point percentage. This defense could prove key against the Warriors if this indeed is a finals matchup. So let's see how this defense continues throughout the year. Our next game will be the Clippers and Kings game. In this high-scoring affair, the Clippers took the win 133 to 121. The Clippers took a 16-point lead in the first quarter and never looked back. Tobias Harris, the Clips' standout player, led all scorers with 28 points. The Clippers have been a very underlooked team this season. They're at the top of the Western Conference with a 15-6 record and are playing great basketball. They don't have one main man that they always look for. However, they have multiple role players who are key in most of their victories. These players are Lou Williams, Tobias Harris, Montrezl Harrell, and Danilo Gallinari. Lou and Montrezl are leaders off the bench, while Tobias and Danilo take charge with the starters. Rookie Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has also been playing really well. This team has beaten the Warriors, the Bucks, the Trailblazers, the Rockets, and the Spurs, so they really look like a team who's ready to make a mark this season. Let's see if this Doc Rivers team can continue to stay relevant in the playoff race of this tough Western Conference. That ends Thursday's games. On Friday, the Nuggets-Blazer matchup was a great game. Denver took this one 113 to 112. CJ McCollum had a chance to hit the game winner, but he missed it. It was a 21-foot mid-range that he missed. Denver's top performer was power forward Paul Millsap, who had 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 steals, as well as 4 assists. Although CJ missed the game clincher, he still had 33 points on 14 of 21 shooting. This season, the Nuggets have been the talk of the town. As of the release date of this episode, the Nuggets have a 15-7 record, are in second in the West, behind the Clippers. Nikola Jokic, a second-round pick, has turned out to be their franchise superstar, and he only shows more promise. He's an all-around offensive beast with 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. His ability to shoot from deep and score with creativity in the post is quite good, but he is one of the best passing centers in history. His vision at that position and at that height blows my mind every game of his that I watch. For me, this team is a lock for the playoffs, and could be a 4 or 5 seed with the Rockets not doing the best. Let's go on to Saturday's games. This is our last game of the episode. It will be the Boston Celtics versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Boston took the game by 9 points, 118 to 109. It was so great to watch Gordon Hayward back in true form after his gruesome leg injury last season. He had 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists in 30 minutes off the bench. On the other side, another former superstar who had major leg injuries led the way for their team. Derrick Rose had 26 points in 29 minutes off the bench. I want to take more time talking about his comeback story. This year, the youngest MVP in NBA history is averaging 20 points a game on 50% shooting from the field and 50% from 3. His 50-point game against Utah was the turning moment in his confidence and the fans' confidence in him. After that, we all knew D Rose was back. I really hope he wins the Most Improved Player award, or at least something to recognize his comeback from a very dark period of his life. Well guys, that's all I have for today. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to continue listening to game recaps and analysis every Sunday. If you have any feedback, please, and if you do, don't be afraid to share it. You can comment it. Send me an email at raghavkpodcast@gmail.com for any questions, and do be sure to follow me on Instagram at the NBA The Week That Was. Thank you for listening, and see you next Sunday. Bye.